All right, everybody. Starting out here, my flash queue is pretty high, but hopefully that'll settle down and you'll get some good picture and audio coming through. As you can see, I'm here with my partner in crime, who I will let introduce our guest for the day.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it, as always, taking some time out. And I want to thank and welcome none other than Mr. Jose Blanco himself to the show. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm great, and talking with Mike and Mike, even better. We've got the great state of New York, and we've got Pennsylvania inside. Rocking it off on Stogie 411.
And Mr. Blanco, he is in Nicaragua, so the connection's really going really good. I'm actually very pleased with the way the connection. We've been talking the last 20 minutes, and it's been really fun.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
Well, listen, let's get this started off. Jose, this is going to be a tough one with you because you've been around for so long, but we'd like to start this off. There's not many people I know that don't know who you are, but why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Joya de Nicaragua?
Well, Joya de Nicaragua is the oldest cigar factory in Nicaragua and in Central America, owned now by Dr. Alejandro Martinez Cuenca, which I have been a friend for many, many years, and to be honest, never thought I would work with him. To me, it's been an honor and a pleasure and a great time being here. And a lot of people know that before I worked with a lot of tobacco from Nicaragua, but now I have a first-hand opportunity to work with more tobaccos from Nicaragua in different regions. Joya de Nicaragua right now is in 37 countries, and before the year is over, we should be at least in 46 or 47. I've been since last year traveling to Europe, and in Europe, you know, distributors, even if they know about you, it's more about relationships and all that, and we already started in 3 or 4 more countries, and we're looking to open up more. But the great thing about this company is the quality. I mean, I've been to Cuba, I've been to Honduras, lived in Dominican many years, seen many factories here, and the quality of tobacco and the process, the fermentation process and the aging process in this factory is just unique. You take like some tobaccos and you smell it, and we get a lot of that, especially when people visit it, and what they tell you, it smells like raisins, it smells like prune. It has a certain sweetness that it makes the tobacco very unique, and that's why, you know, Antaño has been around so much, so many years, doing well. It has a niche for people that like that, you know, that full body, rich, complex cigars, dark Orojo, Cabinet, Celebration. I mean, tobacco and consistency, it's what really makes a great brand.
Definitely. And people were asking in the chat, I am so now, Mr. Jose Blanco can pronounce this so much better than I can, but it's Joya de Nicaragua Cabineta. Yeah, I can't get that nice fluidity going. I'm an American. I can't do it. I just can't. Yeah, I just can't. But Jose, what are you smoking?
Right now, I'm smoking an Antaño Lancero. Between the Antaño Lancero and the Antaño Corona, in the Antaño line are my favorites. In the Cabineta line, I like the Lancero, but I'm a really huge fan of the Corona Gorda. And my favorite, maybe of all products made at Joya de Nicaragua, is the dark Corojo Peligroso. That's why I have baptized all you want in a cigar and more. It's full body, it's full flavor, great aroma, complex, very well balanced with a great finish. I mean, I smoke at least one every day, and as a lot of people know that have met me, I only smoke a cigar back to back or every day when I'm working on a blend or something that I really like. And to be honest, It's only been in the last 3 or 4 months that I've smoked this, that I really got into this dark Corojo Peligroso. And a lot of people know that I'm a big fan of smaller ring gauge, Lanceros, Petit Corona, Coronas, Corona Gordas, Robusto. I'll go up to a 52. And don't get me wrong, I'll smoke everything and every size. But my personal preference is the smaller sizes, because if I like a wrapper a lot, I want to smoke wrapper. And then you have the misconceptions that people think that the big ring gauges have more flavor, have more strength. And as I've demonstrated in numerous seminars, when we do the exercise, people realize that it's not truth. Now, if you tell me as a point of value, I'll agree with that. But when you really, really want to look into a cigar, you take a Corona Gorda, you pick a time, because a lot of people pick cigars, they don't pick up first the time. You need time. It's like you can't take like a Churchill and you have 30 minutes to smoke.
Right.
So going back to that, you pick the time, you sit down with a friend, with a drink, doesn't matter where, your state of mind is clear. You light up that cigar and close your eyes and go through the motions, and you will be able to pick up all the things that's happening in the cigar. Naturally, the cigar has to be in good condition, good construction, good draw, and that helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Jose, let's take a question right away from the chat room. Corey wants to know, what do you think of the growing trend with the 60 ring gauge, and why is it going that way?
Look, to be honest, I've seen it. Like, I was in the Midwest in October with Jonathan and Fabian and a whole group of guys, Ryan, and I saw a lot of people smoking 56, 58, 60. Texas is big for that. I think more in the Northeast, people are more, I would say, Corona Gorda, Corona, Toro sizes. It's a trend. Take my Uzi weighs a ton. I mean, we can't make enough of that. I mean, it's one of the hot cigars out there. There's a lot of cigars in the 60 ring gauge that people like. And like I said, there is nothing wrong with smoking it. I always tell people, you have to smoke what makes you feel good and what you enjoy. Right. Don't get me wrong, the ratings are great. Social media is great. Recommendations are great. But at the end of the day, if you take the rating, see what's written in social media, and you pick up the cigar, you're going to buy it again if you like it. And if you don't like it, you'll just move on to something else.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, we're just a guide for people. So hopefully they'll take it, try it, and hopefully they'll enjoy it as much as we did if we liked it.
That's right.
Exactly. Everybody's palate's pretty much different. It's just because I may like something,
yeah, exactly.
You may not.
And I actually picked up one of those.
It's like when I do.
Go ahead.
That's right. It's like when I do, and I think Mike has been at. You've been at someone.
No, I never made
right?
one. I wanted to, but I was never there.
Okay. It's like I tell people. It's like I tell people, I always get 25, 30 people in the room to do a seminar, and I tell everybody, I ask everybody, if we were to give you the same cigar, made by the same roller, draw test every cigar, cherry pick every leaf of tobacco, how many opinions we're going to get? People say 30, of course, because everybody's palate is different. I can go to the factory 7 o'clock in the morning, light up a dark Corojo Peligroso after coffee and toast and be at ease. There's people that after a 22-ounce steak and a big Idaho potato, you give them a mild cigar and they're going to be like, oh, this is too strong. No, this is strong is that you have a low tolerance scale. And when people don't know that when you're smoking a cigar, you have to take into consideration a lot of stuff. First of all, state of mind, weather, what you have eaten, what you're drinking. And like I always said, never smoke a cigar next to an asshole because he'll ruin it.
I like that.
I'm not smoking with Mike anymore. I get a lot of laughs
on that, really, to be honest. That's my best joke in the seminars.
Yeah, now speaking of with the seminars, I know I had asked you before, I believe, personally, are you going to continue your seminars now that you're with Joya de Nicaragua?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, we're ready for cigar safari that we get two groups a week. I've done already, I don't know, maybe 15, 16, 17 seminars already, maybe more, maybe 20 so far this year, and we have some ideas. Also, I do different seminars where you smoke pure grade
Right.
cigars, and then everybody gives an opinion. I'm doing one now with five rappers also, with I interact with people. Because the way I see the seminars is, if you get somebody to go like to go to a shop, he has a PowerPoint presentation, he blah 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 for an hour, it's okay. But when you interact with people and you ask them, what you pick up, like when, one of the things I do is I tell people, okay, we have 20 guys here, everybody's going to put up $10,000. We're going to make a company, you're going to come to Nicaragua to make a cigar. So there are 6 key elements that you have to look into when you're making a blend. And I tell them first, okay, we have the we have the wrapper, we have the filler, we have the binder. So what's the first thing you're gonna look for? So people start shooting different questions. Well, when you're making a blend, the first thing you look for is flavor. So after that, you're looking for strength. After that, you're looking for aroma. After that, you're looking for complexity. And after that, you're looking for balance. And after that, you're looking for finish. And then what I do is I describe all the characteristics of all these steps that you have to take to make a cigar. Like people say, why complexity? I tell them, well, why would you enjoy a cigar that from start to finish has the same flavors and the same strength, even if it's good? It just becomes a good, boring cigar. What you want is a cigar that where you can pick up different notes, where the strength level, the flavor levels are going to come up, where you're picking up notes of cocoa, notes of coffee. Is it earthy? Is it bitter? Is it sharp? But definitely what you have in the mouth is only sour, sweet, bitter, and sweet. But all the other different elements by the which you describe a cigar, if it's woodsy, you don't lick, cedar, or you lick leather, things like that. It's just things that go to hints that go directly to your mind. And a lot of people ask me, well, I can't pick up this, I can't pick up that. I said, well, you know why? Because not everybody has a palate where you can really pick up different things. And this happens especially and mainly on people that smoke 1 or 2 brands from one country. I tell people, if you really want to learn about cigars, it doesn't matter if it's our brand or different brands, smoke different countries, different sizes, different times, different drinks, pair up with different things, and you will get to learn and be able to differentiate different aspects and characteristics of cigars.
Wholeheartedly agree on that.
Agree.
And we had a question in the chat. They wanted to know, are you going to be doing seminars here in the United States, or is it just something for Cigar Safari?
Yes. Yes, after IPCPR, because we're working on different concepts, I will be on tour doing, I spent like a week, let's say, in California, a week in Dallas, probably doing free events Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, and if people wanted Saturdays too, because when I travel, I don't have a problem. I remember there were times that I was doing like, salesperson would pick me up at 8, we'd be working till 5, and then from 5 to 9 in events. So, I love to talk with people. I like to share my knowledge. And one of the things I tell people in the seminar is, look, I've been smoking for 46 years. I've traveled. My father grew tobacco. My grandfather, my cousins still grow tobacco. But if any day anybody comes here and he tells you he knows everything there is to know about tobacco, hear the guy out. As soon as you get home, delete the whole conversation. Because, no, it's true. This is an ongoing process. I can tell you this. If you were to ask me, and we have to leave the Cubans outside because that could take like 10 days just talking about that. That's a different subject. When have I smoked the best cigars? I will tell you it's been in the last 4 to 5 years. Cigars today are better made. They're more rich. They're more bold. They're more complex. We're using different tobaccos. In the old days, what was it? Some Candela, some Maduros, some Connecticut, some Indonesian, and some Cameroon.
Right.
That was it. Right. How many different things we have? We have Havana 2000, we have Habano Ecuador, we have Habano Nicaragua, we have Habano Vuelta Arriba, we have Corojo 99, Corojo 99, Criollo 98, we have Piloto Cubano, we have Olor, we have San Andres, we have Sumatra Brazil, we have Sumatra Ecuador, we have Brazil, which has Arapiraca, which has Mata Fina, Mata Norte, Mata Sur, has Bahia, has Sumatra. I mean, there's so many tobaccos that we're working with. We have Pelo de Oro from Peru. We have even tobaccos from Colombia. We have tobaccos from Indonesia. I'm not a big fan of it, but a lot of people use it. So, you know, we're working with more tobaccos and experimenting even with more tobacco. So, I mean, this is of my 46 years experience of smoking. If somebody were to say the best cigars that you have smoked, I would say in the last 5 or 6 years. And to be honest, the best is yet to come.
Oh, look at that. There's a hint at the future.
There you go, guys. Jose, let's take. We got a lot of questions in the chat room, which is great, guys. Keep your questions coming. We'll try to get to them all. John's
And
got it.
I'll try to make it shorter, too.
No, you're fine, buddy. John's got a question. He wants to know, are there any plans on marketing the JDN Dark Antonio more aggressively, and any new plans on the JDN lines?
Yes, we're working on different things, and as soon as I start hitting the road, which I will next week, because I'll be at Cigar Fest, and then from there I fly to California. I got 3 events lined up. We're working on different types of material and getting it out. And I really appreciate all these people that have really supported Antaño during 10 years it's been out there. If you look at the brands, there's not too many brands that could go out there and, you know, and come out and have a steady following. We're looking at maybe different sizes, different things, some limited editions, and also for the Dark Rojo. But you know, it's we're doing a lot because we're working now on the new lines and all that. So we'll see. But we really want to thank all those people that during so many years have been so supportive of the Antaño line and of Joya de Nicaragua.
Great. And I will add, Jose spoke about Cigar Safari. Now, we talked about that with Jonathan Drew when we had him on the show. So we'll have a link back to his interview with us, and that way you can learn more about Cigar Safari if you're interested in it.
Yep.
I didn't hear you.
No, I was just telling them that we had Jonathan Drew on the show before, and we spoke to him about the Cigar Safari. So I told him we'd put a link in our review underneath our review when we post on the site with you to link back to his. That way they can learn more about Cigar Safari and how to go about getting there if they want to.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something about Cigar Safari. To me, I baptize it as the ultimate cigar experience. Because, and I'll tell you why. First, you get to go to Joya, Nicaragua, view the factory, and get a seminar on part of us. See how the original factory was. Then you go to Drew Estate, which in my opinion is just the university of innovation. I mean, what Jonathan has done and that group, I mean, look at Liga, look at T52, look at all the acid products. Talk about marketing and being out there and have a great following. And I've been friends with many, many years with like Salucci and Saka and Marvin too. These are great people. And these are people also that have, the same as us, have supported all this effort towards, you know, keeping FDA and protecting our rights at it. So it's a great combination. Then you go to the fields, you get to make your own blends. The dinners are great. The hospitality and the food at Drew Estate. I mean, that's why I've called it the ultimate cigar experience.
There you go, from one of the greats in the business. So if you want to go, get your tickets soon.
Well, they're all gone. Well, Jose, let's get into another topic that if you're a cigar smoker, enthusiast, aficionado, someone who just smokes here and there, or whatever you are, you've been one of the guys on the front line, I know, tweeting about it and everything. Let's talk a little bit about this FDA crap, is what I'm going to call it, that's going on right now relating to the cigar industry.
Well, first of all, guys, I think personally FDA has more important things and a bigger agenda just to be chasing people that smokes a legal product which is taxed heavily taxed in some places.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. FDA, to be honest, I don't think knows what they're dealing with. There's so many issues, so many people will get hurt. But most of all, what I'm proud is of the 25,000 people that took time to sign the petition and to send a message. And I know if we got to get 100,000 signatures, we're going to get them. Because first of all, we're passionate about cigars. We don't want FDA in our industry. They should be into medical pharmaceuticals and other stuff, fast food, all that kind of stuff. But not into ours. We're grown-ups. We're adults. We smoke a product which is 100% tobacco that is grown, and even in the United States, people don't imagine the amount of Pennsylvania broadleaf, Connecticut wrapper, even Connecticut Habano that is grown that the industry uses. Yeah. So, like, again, I'm very proud of all the people. I'm proud of the efforts also of the CRA. There's been a lot of people in the front lines, you know, tweeting all day, being on social media all day, just making it happen. And like I posted on Twitter and also on Facebook, guys, we have just won a battle. It's not a war. So we'll probably need to be in the trenches again, and we have to be in high alert 24/7. So if you signed a petition and you know of somebody who didn't and loves cigars, tell them, okay, we're going to forgive you this time. But for the second battle, we need your signature and you to get 2 more. Because we really have to be proactive. We cannot be reactive. We have to be on high alert 24/7 and give them hell.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing I want to do real quick is I have that up here, what the FDA wants to do. And just real quickly, I just want to mention to some people who, as Jose mentioned, you may not understand the whole ramification of this, or you may not have signed that petition. But basically, here's some examples of what they really want to do to us and what they really want to regulate. They want to ban walk-in humidors, self-serve cigar displays, mail-order cigar sales. They also want to ban all flavored cigars. They want to ban cigar events that give away free samples to legally aged adults, limit on cigar marketing, imposing new user fees taxes, which, let's be honest, especially in my state, I can say, we pay 75% tax.
Yeah, tell me about it.
To even say you want to do more is ridiculous. They want to limit on special release and small batch cigars, limit on nicotine levels, ban on marketing cigar merchandise. So basically what they want to do, folks, is they want to tell you what you can and cannot do. And in my opinion, I believe they've forgotten. For the people, by the people.
Yeah.
There's too much damn government regulations in this country. It needs to stop. But there's just a little quick idea of what they want to do. So if you weren't really familiar with it, get familiar with it, and you got to stand up for your rights.
That's right. And, you know, at the end of the day, guys, it's all about rights. For many years, even before this FDA nonsense and all this other crap, I've said smoking is not about health. It's about rights. If you can die for your country at 18, you should be allowed to smoke and drink at that same age. Fair is fair, enough is enough. Government has more important things: education, drugs, housing, health care, teachers that are not paid well, policemen, firemen. They should look into those things. Don't go after the little guys that what they do is just once in a while light up a cigar after a hard day's work and just try to feel good.
Exactly. I agree. And you know, in our chat, Matt even said, I won't say the name so we don't get sued, but fast food, fast food is more to blame for my current shape than cigars are. You know, yet nobody, you say something about going after another industry like that, you know, or the alcohol industry, you know, with all the drinking and driving, and, you know, how many, we talked before the show, but how many deaths have occurred because you smoked a cigar, hopped in a car, and couldn't control it and killed somebody? You know, it's just ludicrous on what they're doing.
Yeah. No, it's it's a lot of political incorrectness, also ignorance, and then you have all these health groups out there. But you really find out that some of these guys, they don't like uh, tobacco, but then they're into dope, they're alcoholics,
Yep.
they're degenerates. I mean, come on, what does the Bible say? Whoever is free of sin to throw the first stone, something like that. So
Yep.
don't be so
Yep.
hypocritical.
Yeah, it's like everybody's out there. Let
Too
legalize
much government.
marijuana, but let's take away cigars.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
it makes no
Right.
sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem. Too much government. We need to. So everybody, you need to get over to CRA, sign that petition, and really fight for your right, because you have that right. It's called freedom of speech. You have that right to say how you feel, and you have a right to stand up for what you believe, despite what the government
but
says.
not only that, guys. Not only do you sign the petition, join
Yeah.
CRA. Become a proud member of a great organization that is fighting for our rights. CRA is the last line of defense. And if anybody out there is a retailer and you are not a member of IPCPR, or you're not a member of your state association, join up today. Let your voice be heard. And when there's a petition out there for proposition, I don't know what, sign it, write to your elected officials, senators, congressmen, let your voice be heard.
Yeah, it's all up to us,
Yeah.
really. And I'm pretty sure Matt will be able to put a link in down below the review also, right to that petition and CRA's website and everything. That way, you can sign that and get your name up there.
Yeah, you can sign it right from our site. Matt will have that in the post when this post goes live. So definitely click on it, and sign up some more of your friends. Well, Jose, let's get into a topic that we like to ask the manufacturers, simply about the Cuban embargo. What effect do you think it may have, may not have, will happen, won't happen, and what benefits and non-benefits do you see from it?
Well, this is a topic, like I said, we can go on for hours. I'm very passionate about it. I have my views. Some people might agree, some might not. But this is what I see. You have two scenarios with the embargo. You have one where the Castro brothers are still in power. The embargo is lifted. We get cigars. I would say prices would go up 20 to 25%. Black product. That's an opportunity for well-established companies to get involved in those markets. Thank God we're already in there. And then you have a scenario where they're out of it. Democracy is restored. There's people that say a lot of people are not going to get back what was there before. I think that's going to wind up in court. And then I think probably you will see some of the greatest cigars ever made. I've had the opportunity, as a lot of people know, to be in Cuba many times. And I was able to, gifted by my late dear friend Alejandro Robaina, tobaccos. And I did a lot of experiments with them. And I can tell you, when you take filler from Nicaragua and filler from Dominican, and you put filler from Cuba into it, it's amazing what has come out. I've given some people like James Suckley, Savone, Ernie, Ernesto Perez Carrillo, and some other people some of it. And they picked up right away it had Cuban, but they said it had different tobaccos. And what they said about it was just awesome. To be honest, it was like in heaven. I still have some left, and I can tell you. Now, sales-wise, we will see a boom. Not a boom maybe like 92, 93, 94, but it will get more people to smoke. And then after people smoke the cigars, well, some people will like them. Other people will say, I waited for this. It's not what I was expecting. But I think it will really, really help the industry, get in sales, get more people into cigars. I personally believe it's just going to do good.
Now, I've said I'd like your opinions on this if you would too. With if they would lift the Cuban embargo, I see right now Cuba seems to have problems supplying, even though the United States is an illegal area. We can of course still get them all over the place, but the construction issues have seemed to plague them here of late. And the main benefit I see coming out is exactly what you said, combining the Cuban tobacco with other tobaccos to make a whole new refreshing blend of a cigar. But the thing with that, will Cuba have enough of the tobacco that they would be able to let manufacturers like yourself actually purchase the Cuban tobacco to use, or would it all go for their cigars?
No, it's like I said, you have two scenarios. You have a scenario where the Castro brothers are in power, so we can forget about getting tobacco. They don't have enough wrapper. They have enough filler and binder, but the problem that they have is with wrapper. Because you have to understand, Cuba right now is around 110, 115 million cigars. We estimate that 20 million come back to the States, so you're talking about 85 million left for the rest of the world. Now, if you have a scenario where democracy is back and you can get the private sector to grow tobacco again, and you can have different wrappers and different fillers and different binders, that's something else. But anybody who's dreaming that the embargo is going to be lifted and you're going to get tobacco, you can keep on dreaming. It ain't going to happen. They don't have enough.
All right.
Matt's got a question for you, Jose. He said, is that Cuban blend his favorite blend he's ever put together? If not, what is your favorite blend that you ever done?
I have many, many special blends. The Cien Años was a great blend. Some blends that I did for some people also. The blend that Alejandro and I have been working now for the last 8 months that it's almost done, has to be one of the best blends ever that we have made, and I'm very proud of it. Took us 60 blends to get it, and we're,
Wow.
let's say we're at 98%. You know, we do these last minutes tweaking with the 2 final blends after you leave them 45 days, which one is going to smoke better.
Right.
And in the next couple of weeks, you'll probably hear more about it. I can't really talk a lot about it right now, but it's something that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of all the blends that I've made, and I'm working on some other blends also for next year, because you know I take my time and all that. But I don't rush things. I don't believe in that. I believe in good old aged tobacco, good construction, and giving things time.
Cool.
Makes a great cigar.
Well, let's see. It does. No need to rush perfection. Bill D wants to know, how do you go about creating blends for different cigars?
Well, the first thing you have to do is, I've always tried to be very original, genuine. I dislike people who like to copy. I say, okay, we want to make a full-body cigar, but we don't want it to taste like this guy or that guy. So what are we going to do for people to pick up the strength, but where people are going to pick up different profiles using different tobaccos? Because, you know, in the market, people are really like these very, very strong nicotine buzz cigars that, you know, they give you like they give you a buzz. It's like a fix. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's people that like that. But my way, when I'm blending a cigar, is first of all, I want people to be able to pick up more flavor than strength. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want flavor to be 10. Now, depending on what I want to achieve, do I want to bring the strength levels up to 6, 6.5, 7, 8, 8.5? I would never go more than 8.5 on the strength level, because I want people to be able to pick up the sweetness, the notes of the flavor. So when you have more strength than you have flavor, what it does, it doesn't allow for the smoker to pick it up. Now, some people like to pick up more strength than flavor, which is nothing wrong with it. So I don't want anybody saying that I'm criticizing that. It's just, like I say, everybody has a different taste for each different type of tea or steak or
Right.
food.
Now,
And also one of the things I get into is you got to look into the elements. What type of wrapper do you want to use? What type of binder do you want to use? What type of fillers do you want to use? How complex do you want to make it? Do you want it to be, there's aromas that are great, but some people, it's what we have baptized as an offensive aroma that you go like, this is like too much. You want it to have a nice, enjoyable aroma, but you don't want to overdo it. But you don't want to make a cigar also with a lack of aroma or a short finish. You want a cigar that's complex, rich, bold, with lots of flavor, with a long finish on it.
we are getting a lot of good questions in here for you, Jose. Bill D has another one, and this is an interesting one, I think. Now, everybody has heard about the Cuban seed tobacco grown in, Dominican Republic and Nicaragua, all over. Are there seeds from those countries that you think that could be planted in Cuba and produce something different than what's out there right now?
Yes, but about Cuba, they probably have done it.
Okay.
I'm speculating. But I can tell you one thing. You take a Sumatra seed. Who would have thought that grown in Ecuador would come out such a great seed like you see on a 1495, on a VSG, on some Averni stuff, on some Pepin stuff? It was unheard of, because what people don't understand, it's all about the soil. And I'll give you a classic example. You take a Connecticut seed, you grow it in Connecticut, you take that same seed and grow it in Ecuador. The colors, the thinness is going to be more or less the same, and the taste. But what's going to happen? Connecticut from USA is going to be a little bit more bitter and going to have a little bit more of a twang than Connecticut grown in Ecuador. The same thing would be Connecticut grown in Costa Rica, in Mexico, in DR, even in Cuba. There was a Dutch company growing Connecticut wrapper there for the mass market in Europe. Don't get me wrong, the seed is important, but it's all about the soil, climate, weather, everything, pH, the nitrates of the soil, everything has to do with it.
There you go, Bill D.
Let's take another one from Corey. He's got,
Yeah.
boy, this is a tough question to ask, but we'll ask it. He wants to know, what's your deathbed cigar? You're on your deathbed, what's your last cigar?
Okay, I'll put it to you this way, because
Not that we want you there.
Okay, I know. I'll put it to you this way. There was a group of us in Germany after an event, and after the event, 5 or 6 people stayed at the store, and the question came up: if you were on an island and you would have to smoke one cigar for a whole year, what would it be? This guy said this guy would say that guy said that, this guy said this, the other guy said that. And I was silent for a while, and everybody was asking me, Mr. Blanco, what is it going to be? And I said, I'd probably shoot myself, because I can't smoke the same cigar all day long.
Well, there you go, Corey.
That was good.
So, Jose, what can we expect that you can talk about new from Joya de Nicaragua coming up, near future, or a year or so out?
No, the cigar, it will be ready for the show.
Okay.
It's very unique. It's different from anything that I've made before, and anything that Joya has made. And the people we've given it to, people that we know they're going to tell us if they like it or don't like it, are very pleased with it. They're very happy with it, and that's about it.
Okay.
It's going to come in different sizes, and we just want to know everybody that, Alejandro and me and all the team at Joya have taken our time. We have not rushed it. was more or less like 60 different blends that we did, and Team Joya was involved, and a lot of people very close to us were involved in it, and it's we think we know we have a winner.
There you go. Like the confidence. Do you have a favorite shape or size cigar, Jose?
Well, to be honest, like I told you guys before, I love Lanceros, Petit Coronas, Corona Gorda, Robusto, the Bellicoso size, the people call it Torpedo size. Once in a while, I'll smoke a big ring gauge just to get a feeling of it and see what people are talking about. Now, one thing I will do is when I see a tweet or I see a forum on somebody on a new cigar, and I know that the guy has at least a good description about cigars, if I'm not close with the manufacturers, I'll buy it. Because there's one thing, I don't want to miss out on a cigar that somebody is saying it's good. I want to know what's good about it. Like if you were to tell me, look, smoke this and smoke that, and I don't have it because I have a lot of stuff, I would go get it and smoke it because you guys have good palates, you've been in there, you're passionate about cigars, and I trust you guys, so I would do it.
Well, go try that San
Yeah,
Lotano
San
Oval.
Lotano Oval. It's good.
I'll
yeah.
try.
I agree with that one. On the same camera. Oh, yeah. How is it working with Jonathan Drew? I mean, he's pretty boisterous. I don't know, not boisterous, intense. There we go.
Intense. That's a good word. Intense.
Intense is the word. If somebody wanted to tell me, define JD with one word, I would say intense.
Yeah.
Jonathan is passionate, creative. He's probably one of the most honest, charitable guys I've ever met. And for me, working with him, with Saka, with Salucci, with Willie, with Nicholas, Pedro, all the guys at Drew Estate has been great. Their reps are great, very knowledgeable people. Many of them I've known for years. It's a different organization. They're in social media all day long. They're very creative. And just seeing what Jesse Flores has done, I mean, he has to be one of the most creative artists in the world with the molds, with sneakers, with shirts. And that kid has a big heart. I mean, Subculture Studios is awesome. And this is not to blow smoke up Jonathan, but you know how Hollywood is always looking for scripts and stories. If there's somebody that somebody should really do a story about is JD. Going from having a little kiosk in New York, didn't want to become a lawyer, and just going out there and creating this monster, this great factory is an amazing story.
Now, the only problem with
it's an American dream, to be honest, in Nicaragua.
the only problem with doing that story is if they would actually have Jonathan Drew come on for an interview, because the movie would be like 8 or 10 hours long.
But I have to find a guy to play JD.
Let's see. Let's take another one from Bill D. He's got some good questions. He says he hears about personal blends from owners, rollers, etc. He goes, do you have your own personal blend? Something that you keep aside for yourself?
To be honest, no. Because I got to be honest. What I've done is I played with a lot of blends, and I keep 30, 40 cigars for people that are good friends that really know cigars, like the ones that I keep, with the Cuban tobacco and things like that. But a personal blend, no. Maybe because, and I thank, who was it? JD was, the guy who just asked the question?
Yes. Bill D.
Who was the guy who just asked the question?
Bill D.
Bill D. I thank him for that because, he's probably the third person in the last maybe month that's has brought it up, and I might take it in consideration, make a blend in the next couple of weeks and have 100 cigars for him. Maybe if he comes down to Nicaragua one day and said, look, this is to honor you and 2 other guys, and if you guys come down.
There you go.
There you go, Bill. There's an invitation from the man himself. Well, Jose, we're almost, like I said to you, at that hour point. See how fast it goes?
Goes fast, like I said, but I don't have a problem. If you want to kick it in 15, 20 minutes more, the guys want to ask questions, no problema.
Awesome. Well, is there anything, Jose, that we didn't touch on that you would like to talk to the people about?
Well, what I think that people have to realize, is going back to a little what we talked about, is that we have to, first of all, believe in rights. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we enjoy one of the true pleasures in life. And we have to be proactive. We have to support our brick and mortar stores. We have to support the industry. We have to respect, because one of the things that I honestly dislike is when I walk into a store, I'm at an event, somebody comes in and, even if it's a joke, tells somebody, why are you smoking that crap? Well, if somebody would ask me that, I would say, you know what, because I like it, I just paid $10 for it. You have to be respectful. When somebody gives you a cigar, you take it, you thank them, you smoke it. If you didn't like it, it's very easy to describe what you don't like. It's not my cup of tea. But don't tell them, oh, this was a crap, this was this, and didn't that. Look, the guy gave you a gift. It's like many people, when I go to the shops, they come up, can I buy you a cigar? And I tell them, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Or they give me a cigar. They wait for me from a cigar, and then they give me a card. Did you smoke it? Could you tell me about it? If it's good, I'll describe them as bad. Look, I'll just tell them it's not my cup of tea. It didn't do this, do that. I would like to see more respect. I would like to see people to be more supportive of each other. I would like people to get more educated, follow, websites like you do, ask questions when you have really, reputable people there. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Just be out there, be genuine, be yourselves. And if you don't know something about a cigar and you know a guy that's been smoking a little bit more, which, by the way, doesn't mean he knows about cigars, ask questions. Go to a good shop that has a good staff. Try to get more involved. Try to read more. If you can't be on Twitter all day or Facebook because you work or you don't want to do it, okay. But when you go to the shop or you see a rep or you see one of the owners or a brand manager, ask questions. Because the majority of us in the people in the industry, we like to talk. At least I like to talk.
Jonathan hates it.
You want to take Matt's question?
Sure. Was it hard for you to move to Nicaragua with spending so many years in the Dominican Republic?
Well, in a way, I was coming to a great company to work with a great friend and tobaccos that I love. The people are great, especially at the factory. You take like Panchita, she's been there 40 years, 35 years, a whole bunch of people. And some of the young rollers are the sons of people that were rolling there before. It's a big family at Joya. The food is more or less similar, a lot of pork, a lot of chicken, rice, plantains. They have great rum here, Florida de Caña. They have Victoria beer and Toña, which is good. The climate is a little bit... my fiance says it's not that hot, but she likes hot weather. And but other than that, it's good. The people are great. A country, it's not really about malls and big buildings and highways. It's about the people, and the people here are great.
Nice. Well, Corey's got one for you, Jose. He says, everything in the industry has peaks and valleys. It seems right now we're hitting a peak in the cigar world. Do you foresee a valley coming up?
A what?
Peaks and valley in the cigar business. He says right now he seems we're on a peak right now. Do you foresee a valley coming up? In other words, we're going to start tending.
Right now, the only threat that we have is FDA. If we get back FDA, and in every state we fight against this unfair, unjust taxation, and smoking bans, we'll be all right. Because I'll tell you, if we did not have these smoking bans in places like New York and Minnesota, in Washington State and Massachusetts, which have 70, 80 to 100% taxes on cigars, I would guarantee you that our industry would be up 20 or 25%. The problem is people cannot find places where to smoke.
Right. I agree.
And that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard is putting a ban into place. I was talking before the show about it. You know, you ban smoking inside of a place, even inside of a cigar shop, because people will complain about it. If you go into a cigar shop thinking you're not going to smell cigars, you're an idiot. You know, just leave. Just go somewhere else. Yeah,
or
exactly. It just makes no sense on how they're doing some of this.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you an example. I think as a restaurant owner, as a bar owner, you have the right to say I wanted smoking or non-smoking. So the law should read like this. If you have a bar, it should be an 18-inch in your glass front where it says, this is a smoking establishment. Now, if you don't like people who smoke cigars and cigarettes, why the hell would you walk into
Exactly.
Right.
just to nag and bitch about that? So, I mean, it's stupidity, unkindness, just to be an asshole.
Yeah, it's taken the rights away from the people owning that business to make a decision for themselves. The government's saying you can't do it, and it's just wrong. But this must be a this must be a good story. Abraxas posted. Chief Hava said Jose is lucky to be alive after their ride from Esteli to Managua.
He's laughing, so it must be true.
I know. You know, Skip, I've known him through social media for many years, and then last year we talked, and I think we even had a phone conversation before I came here. And like I told you, I went with Alejandro in the morning in the chopper, but I wanted to see Skip and Mike. So we spent like an hour with Drew and, you know, talking. Then I wanted to come back with him, you know, spend 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, he did some daring stuff, but I got to tell you, not only is he knowledgeable and passionate about cigars, but he's a good goddamn driver too. I don't think I'll ride with him again, but he's a good driver.
We'll make sure. We're going to have him back on the show in a couple of weeks. We'll make sure we have to mention that as well.
Oh, yeah, Skip is... but, you know, you look at a guy that's passionate about cigars, that's coming down in Nicaragua, has a, you know, a little factory. He's picky about his wrappers, his fillers, the people he hires. I smoked at least 2 or 3 of his cigars. Pretty good quality construction, good tobaccos, and you know, little by little, he's gonna build up his business.
Well, let's take one more question, Jose, and then we're gonna wrap the show up with you. Matt's got a question. He said, if the folks in the U.S. were unable to smoke cigars, would the industry be able to survive?
To be honest, with the exception of I don't know, hand-picked group of factories. Because you got to understand, the total worldwide market is around maybe 430 to 400 million premium cigars. So if you take 300 or 280 in the States, and you look at what's left for the world, even those big factories that do worldwide, like in our case, to give you an example, 40% of our sales are only in the States, and the rest is between Nicaragua and the rest of the world. We wouldn't suffer that much. Some other companies wouldn't, but you have companies that, to be honest, they would disappear. And that would be a shame.
It would.
All right. Well, there you go, Matt. Well, Jose, we want to thank you so much, sir, for taking time out of your day to spend with us and our viewers. It really means a lot. And myself I think you're one of the most honorable, respectful men in the industry, and it's absolutely been a pleasure, and I hope to get to meet you someday, sir.
Yes, it's always.
The pleasure has been mine. No, the pleasure is mine. I mean, I knew Mike Ferry maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We've always on Twitter, and when I'm in Pennsylvania, we always talk. He's always been, and I've posted that he's always been very honest. I think you guys are honest. The only thing I could say is keep up the good work. Uh, uh, Stogie 411 will just grow more and more because you bring in people of the industry and topics that people want to really hear about. And to me, it's an honor, it's a pleasure. And like I said, whatever knowledge I have, like Skip says, I'm very diplomatic. But more than that, what I really want is to educate people, give good advice, teach people how to smoke, what they should look for, and just do what I like to do, and continue to keep doing it.
Great. Well, we look forward to everything that comes out of Joya de Nicaragua and everything that you do. And we would definitely love to have you back on the show when you got some new product out that you wish to discuss. Or if you just want to come back on and fight the FDA with us,
Yep.
we're with you.
Oh, yeah. We'll be fighting FDA 24/7. And again, I would like to thank everybody who signed the petition, especially with the leadership of Glenn and Brian at CRA. And, just we got to keep believing in our rights and, fight till the last man standing.
That's right.
Guys, have a great weekend, and I'll probably see Mike maybe in June.
That'd be good.
There you go, Mike.
Can't wait to see you again. I mean, it's always fun.
Okay, guys.
All right,
Thanks a lot
Jose.
for the.
Thanks.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, folks. I'm here by myself again while we get everything situated here. And, oh, that was a great show. Jose is one heck of a guy. If you ever have a chance to meet him in person, definitely go. And there's so much knowledge inside of him, and he is so willing to share that knowledge, with everybody else. It's just amazing. But, Mike's back with us now. What'd you think of it, Mike? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Matt, you might have to edit that part because I totally forgot to click the go button, so nobody ever saw Mike come in, did they? I was just sitting here listening to him, and everybody's probably going, where the hell is he? Look at that. Now I hit the go button. Now let's try this again, Mike. What did you think about
Hey,
it?
let's try it again. Anyways, I thought it sucked. No, I thought it was great. I mean, like I said just a second ago before my nitwit partner forgot to hit the go button, I think he's an icon. I think the guy is passionate, knowledgeable, and I really was looking forward to this show. So I think it was a great show. I want to thank everybody again who tuned in, who continues to support us. We really appreciate it. And just a quick show note, next month you're going to get a little treat, I guess. We're overbooked. We actually are going to do 3 shows next month. Our next show is going to be a Thursday night show, 7 p.m. That'll be May 10th at 7 p.m. And we're going to have Abe from The Smokin'. He will be on our show. And then we will have a Saturday show that week as well. Skip will be back talking about the Intemperance and the Romacraft. And then we have another show, I think it's the 26th, if I remember right. But anyways, so I want to thank Jose, I want to thank Mike, I want to thank Matt, everybody who works hard on this show. Next month, we will be taking your phone calls. So you will be able to call in and ask your questions. So hopefully that'll run smooth. Again, if you're not following us on Skype, you need to send me a request. The Skype name is Hogman211. That's Hogman 211. And we will do our best to get your call. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I want to thank everybody, and hopefully everybody got their giveaways because I didn't hear from everybody, but they all went out. So everybody who won, I hope you got your winnings okay. Those guys who did, let me know. I appreciate it. And that's it.
Yeah, that's
all I
it.
got.
Hopefully we'll see all you guys next time, and girls. I'm sorry, guys and girls, I will say. And till next time, that's all I got.
See you.